All right, guys, good morning. It is Wednesday, the 4th of September, 2024. It's 7:10 a.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. And yesterday, I alluded to something that I heard, which was that the Hells Angels were on their way in numbers of hundreds to Aurora, Colorado, where an apartment complex has been basically taken over by force by a Venezuelan prison gang that is in the United States illegally. And I talked about that last week. It's a crazy story, actually, and so apparently this apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado was taken over by a Venezuelan prison gang. In an attempt to get them out, the management company thought it would be a good idea to just evict everybody. But okay, so basically everybody got evicted that was living there previously, but the Venezuelan prison gang obviously stayed. And so they can't get them out. The local authorities don't seem to be very hyped up on doing anything about it. The city's not doing anything about it. Apparently they're cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Either they're scared or they're cool with it. They're not going to do anything about it. So these people are in like a desperate situation. This is thanks to the illegal immigration policy, which I've been talking about, not only in America, but also here in Europe. This is a problem for every Western country that is being run by leftist ideologues or globalist aligned politicians. So there is a method to their madness for sure. We just don't know what it is yet. In any event, they're trying to destroy every country they can, and they're destroying every country they have power over, and we need to get rid of them. And it looks like that is going to start happening little by little, and so that's good. But that doesn't do much right now for the people of Aurora, Colorado that live in this apartment complex or want to continue to live there. It seems like a dangerous situation. And yesterday on a podcast, I heard Vinny Oshana from the PBD podcast say something on Piers Morgan about the Hells Angels being on their way to Aurora, Colorado to take care of this problem. And I was like, wow, I know it sounds weird, but I was like, cool, right? Cool. That would be great, because when the government doesn't do their job and abstains on their duties, and the police can't protect the regular citizens of a certain city, then basically either the citizens have two choices. They either do something to protect themselves, or they just allow themselves to be thrown out of their houses or murdered or raped or whatever it is that they're trying to protect themselves from. See, and you can't just expect people to get on their knees and take a bullet because the government just doesn't feel like doing their job anymore, right? So something's got to happen. And if that means the Hells Angels got to come in and take care of this problem, then I welcome that. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's watch this happen, right? So I thought it was a crazy story. I'd not heard about it from anything else. I read about it, and I stay on top of things pretty good. So I said to you guys yesterday in the Insanity Report that I would kind of vet the story and take a look if it was real. It looks like it's not. Okay? It looks like it's just a TikTok thing that kind of blew up. Apparently there's a motorcycle, show or something like that in Aurora as well, and it looks like the guys were heading there. Now, I find that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that I'm essentially disappointed in the Hells Angels themselves, because it's not like anybody from the club came out and said they were going to do this and didn't, and now they ended up not doing it. It's just that somebody else made it look like they were going to do it, and now they're not doing it. So I don't expect them to jump in the fray here and take care of this problem that the city of Aurora, Colorado should have taken care of already. But it's too bad, right? It's too bad. It would have been kind of cool to see this face off, and maybe it would have taught governments around the world that, hey, when you leave things up to the citizens to do your job and then pay you to do it, then eventually you're going to get big problems. See, here in Europe, they're always talking about, oh my God, the AfD and in Germany and all these far-right extremists. Look, there are really no far-right extremists. Yeah, sure, there's little groups and pockets of them everywhere, but they're not running shit. You know what I mean? But they make it seem like everything is far-right, and I keep warning the German people, listen, if you think these people are far-right, then you better start doing something to serve the interests of the people of the country. Because if you don't, then the real far-right is going to come. And I guarantee you that if the Hells Angels would have showed up in Aurora to fight off illegal immigrants taking over an apartment complex by force, I am sure that would have not been a good look for the Hells Angels by the establishment. The people would have been cheering them on. But it would have been rough. It probably would have been super bloody. It would have been a disaster, right? And that's what these governments are essentially asking for. They're asking for the citizens to break the law in order to be, they're putting the citizens in a position where they will have no choice but to break the law in an effort to defend their property, themselves, their kids, their families, their friends, from a bunch of illegal invaders that don't belong in any of these countries. And that's what they want. See, they got it in England, right? England, after 3 little girls got stabbed to death by a nutbag, England basically lost their shit. And they started rioting. They started, I'm not saying that rioting is good. I'm saying that the rioters and the protesters that were out there, because they've had it with the illegal immigration, and the 3 girls getting killed were just the last straw for these people. And so they went out, they tore shit up, kind of like BLM. And BLM gets praised all the time. They're good guys, right? Right? So, but they got smeared in the media. People are getting arrested in England for, posting stuff on Facebook. They've got basically an arrest warrant out for Elon Musk, who Keir Starmer wants to be extradited back to England to face charges on inciting riots or some crazy shit. These people are insane. And see, that's what they want. England is the test case. England's the test case. So they want to push people so far that they eventually say, that's it. I'm getting my gun. The next person that comes on my property because they came across the border illegally is getting a fucking bullet. They want people to be fighting in the streets. They want our side to lose its shit. They want the Hells Angels to come and solve that problem, because then they can say, look, we can't have this, guys. We can't have this. We're going to crack down on everybody. That's what they want. They want to be more censorious. They want to use more censorship. They want to jail more people for basically nothing. And then they want to jail the people that did something but were forced to do something because the government abstained on its duties. That's what the story about this Aurora, Colorado thing really is about. So while it's unfortunate that the Hells Angels didn't go to solve this issue, and maybe it can still happen. I mean, now that they've gotten like a bug in their ear, you know what I'm saying? Because they know that this story is being spread around. And maybe they'll talk each other into it. They're like, oh, well, shit, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't our plan, but, we could do that. You know what I'm saying? We could do that, And like I said, the people will probably regard them as heroes, and the media and the establishment will make them seem like far-right Nazi motorcycle gang who, innocent or who needlessly murdered a bunch of poor immigrants that need housing or whatever. You know what I mean? That's how they would spin it. So I guess it's kind of good it didn't happen. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And it doesn't mean that something like similar will not have to happen in one of these countries where the invasion of illegals is happening, which is pretty much all over the Western world. So that's, unfortunately, could have been a crazy story, could have been an insane story that would have been cool, but I think it's not really happening. I think it was just BS, not happening. Something that is happening. In New York, a woman named Linda Sun, she was the former chief of staff for Kathy Hochul, the insane leftist governor of New York. And Linda Sun was arrested. You know why? And she was also worked on Andrew Cuomo's staff before Hochul. Okay? And she was arrested along with her husband because she and her husband were spies for the CCP. You know? It's weird how Democrats always have something to do with spies either working for them or he's sleeping with them, you know, whatever, letting them take care of your kids. There's always some sort of Chinese spy within the Democrat Party somewhere. Now, it makes you kind of wonder. There's yet to be a actual Russian spy found on any of the Trump side or within Trump's administration or stuff like that. It's always the Democrats that are caught with corruption, Bob Menendez, you know, or sleeping with a Chinese spy. How dumb can you fucking be? And then remaining on the Intelligence Committee. Now I'm blanking on the guy's name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he slept with a Chinese spy, Democrat on the Intelligence Committee, Democrat senator on the Intelligence Committee. And when they found out he had been fucking a Chinese spy, they let him stay on the Intelligence Committee, okay? That's who the Democrat Party is. And, you know, I guess that Chinese spies like to attach themselves to Democrats more than they do Republicans, because apparently they seem to get in there. You know what I mean? It makes you wonder if these Democrats aren't just taking CCP money to allow these people in. You know, and they fuck it. I mean, if they get caught, Kathy Hochul's not worried because she's just going to go, like, how are we supposed to know that? Well, do you vet these people before you hire them? Of course we do. Linda's son, completely clean. You know what I mean? Linda's son was A-okay, right? I mean, she was with Cuomo for years. So why would I suspect that she was a spy if she was already with Cuomo and everything was cool? I mean, you know? And then she came over to me, she was my chief of staff, right? That's what she's going to say. So she's basically in the clear. But could it be possible? I'm not saying this is the truth, right? I'm just saying that why is it always Democrats? You know, why are the Democrats the most corrupt? I'm not saying Republicans are corrupt, for sure they are. But Democrats they're pretty corrupt, right? You know, so why is it always them that have the Chinese spy amongst their staff or that they're sleeping with or whatever? Are they getting paid to allow these Chinese spies into their administrations? We know that Democrats like Kathy Hochul don't give a shit about America. They have no allegiance to America. You know, they say they do and they pledge they do, but they don't. They clearly don't. You know what I'm saying? We know they don't. So what would be so weird about them taking bribes from the CCP to allow their spies into their administrations? I mean, that would be the easiest way and the best way to get them in. You know? Xi Jinping talks to the spy and be like, all right, check it out. You're going to go. You're going to work for Kathy Hochul's administration. We've already paid her. She knows who you are. Doesn't matter. She's going to let you run course. Right? And if you get caught by an outside investigation, then we've got to keep her in the clear, right? You're going to have to take the fall for it. But look, you'll get deported back to China. You'll be a hero. It'd be cool. Right? I mean, that's what I would do. Why sneak her in? Why go through all the trouble? I mean, how hard does it have to be to actually sneak somebody into, like, you have to find the spy, you have to move them to America, then they have to somehow get themselves into the administration of the New York office of the governor. I mean, that takes a lot of skill, right? You gotta have some credentials to get up in that shit. You know what I mean? You don't just get picked off the street. You don't come in like you're getting hired for McDonald's. So wouldn't it be just a shitload easier and a lot more secure if you just said to the governor of New York, whether it was Cuomo at the time, with Kathy Hochul, whatever. You know? I don't know that much about Andrew Cuomo, and I almost feel bad saying that possibly he took a bribe for it, because he doesn't seem like the kind of politician that would do that. But again, I don't know. He is a Democrat. I don't know for sure. You know, somehow she got in there. Maybe she was already there for an administration before him. I don't know. You know? But, I mean, it is possible, right? Again, also with the spy thing. You know, the sleeping with the spy thing, the Chinese spy. You know, it would be just a hell of a lot easier for her to say, look, I want to be on the inside here. I'm going to give you some Chinese pussy, and you let me be on the inside, all right? Like, maybe he knew about it. You know what I'm saying? I would not put it past Democrats to go for this kind of stuff, especially not taking money. Biden took money, you know? Biden's taking money from China. That seems to be a Democrat thing. So, guys, I mean, wow. Linda's son in jail, her husband in jail. Their life in America is over for sure. Yeah. Former executive chief of staff for Kathy Hochul, the Democrat lunatic in New York, has gotten caught for being a Chinese spy. Fucking amazing. You know? Amazing. Apparently, they were also millionaires because they got a lot of money from China. You know? I mean, I don't know if they don't have to keep tax records or something. I mean, it probably would have been an easy way to find these people already. And maybe that's how they found them. And they looked and they were like, wow, the executive chief of staff of Kathy Hochul is a multimillionaire. I wonder how she got that money. Maybe that's how it started. I don't know exactly who investigated it and who, you know, what organization busted these people. But it's the case, right? Linda's son busted for being a Chinese spy. Her and her husband in jail in New York. Yeah, guys, it's an insane world. And it's mostly insane because of people like Democrats. Leftist ideologues and Democrats have taken over way too much of this planet. And they have infected, like mindless zombies, you know, a lot of the rest of the populations. And I think we're breaking out of it. I do see white pills raining everywhere at the moment, for sure. And usually I'm a relatively pessimistic person. But yeah, it looks like we're breaking out of this slumber all over the world. We just had the elections in Germany for 2 states, which turned out that what the people want is right-wing conservatism at the least, and no more leftism. Unfortunately, that's not what they're going to get, because the political system here is pretty crazy. It's not really a democracy at all, like they like to say it is. But I've gone into that the last 2 days. Not going to go off on a tangent there. Guys, if you want to get the Insanity Report or the weekly rant or podcast recommendations or my pretty long and detailed articles into your inbox directly as soon as they get published, instead of having to look around on social media or waiting for a post or searching through my pages, you can get that for free or for $5 a month at my Substack. Subscribe below. If you're watching this on Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever, then still follow me there, but still subscribe to my Substack, because everything is centralized there. It's going to do me a lot of good. I'm trying to get all my followers and all my people in one location so that everybody gets the same thing at the same time. That's the best way to go. Do it. And also, share my content. Please restack it, repost it, retweet it, re-exit, whatever the hell you want to call it. Share it around if you like it, if you think other people will like it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Insanity Report, where we're going to discuss, I already know the topic for tomorrow. I don't always know the topic for tomorrow, but I do now. And that is when we're going to discuss Tim Pool's lawsuit against the Kamala Harris campaign. And that's a pretty crazy story. Tim Pool is a very, very well-known, very popular YouTuber. Does a show called Timcast IRL every night, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. Has great guests on, does a great job. I like the guy. I've watched him for years. And now he is going to step up and sue the Harris-Walz campaign for defamation. And it's going to be a tough lawsuit. It's going to be a long ride, but I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. It is pretty cool. We want to back stuff like this up because these people need to be put back in their place, and you need to fight them the same way they fight you. You know, they fight dirty, you got to fight dirty. That's the only way to win with these people, because they don't play by the rules, they don't follow the rules, and they don't have any moral virtue. They just have virtue signaling. Remember that. So guys, we'll see you tomorrow on the Insanity Report. Everybody have a great day, and catch you then.